Welcome everyone. Let's begin our lesson for today by going over the learning goals and success criteria. First, what are we learning? We're learning how to recognize that all real numbers can be factors of all other real numbers, and how to recognize that numbers do not have to divide evenly in order to be considered factors. How are we learning it? Through the real factors notes and the real factors assignment. When can we use this information? To recognize that there are an infinite number of solutions to every problem, and that the most important factor in solving any problem is to find the best approach. How do we know we learned it? By getting a score of 4 on the real factors assignment. Now let's take a look at our agenda for today. We will begin by going over the learning goals and success criteria. While we do that, you'll fill out your Get It Started. Once you've completed your Get It Started, we'll go over it together and answer any questions that you may have. Next, we'll do our weekly raffle. After that, we'll go over the real factors notes, and then I'll give you time to complete the real factors assignment on Desmos. Once you've completed the assignment, we'll go back over it together and answer any questions that you may have. At the end of class, we'll go back over our learning goals and success criteria while you fill out your before you go. Your only homework for tonight is to work on any incomplete assignments that you may have. Let's take a look now at the real factors notes. Our notes begin with the learning goals and success criteria. First, what is a factor? A factor is any number that can be divided into a given number. For example, is 3 a factor of 36? Well, we know 3 goes into 36 12 times, so it is a factor. Now the question is 7 a factor of 36? Here's what I want you to get out of this. Every number except 0 is actually a factor of every other number, because every number can be divided into every other number and create a result. For instance, I can multiply 7 times something to get 36. Now, it may not be an integer that I multiply it by, but I can multiply it by something and still get 36. So, can I prove that 3 is a factor of 7? Well, that means 3 times some number is equal to 7. So if I divide both sides by 3, I get that x is equal to 7/3. So if I multiply 3 times 7/3, I get 7. So 3 is a factor of 7, it's just not an integer factor of 7. So every number can be a factor of every other number. Is e a factor of 6? Well, I can do this and say times x is equal to 6. Well, I divide both sides by e and I get x is equal to 6 divided by e. So if I multiplied e times 6 over e, I get 6. So e is a factor of 6. It's just not an integer factor of 6. So what I want you to get out of this is that every number except 0 is a factor of every other number. We can multiply by something. Now, it may not be pretty, but we can multiply by any number and get some other number. So every number is a factor of every other number except for 0. Let's talk now about how to sign in to Desmos to complete your work. So what we're going to do is you're going to click on the link to go to the assignment, and it should take you to a page that looks kind of like this. And right here where it says sign in with Google, we're going to click there. And it's going to pop up with our email accounts. You're going to click on your school email account, and it should already have you logged in because you should have already been logged in using Google Classroom. From there, I'm just going to click Start the Activity, and it will take me into the assignment and allow me to begin. So that's how you will log in to Desmos using Google. Let's take a look now at the real factors assignment. The assignment begins with the learning goals and success criteria. If we scroll down, there's a link here to take us to the Desmos activity. Go ahead and click on that link, and it should take us to a page that looks like this. We'll go ahead and click Start the Activity. The activity begins with learning goals and success criteria as well. We'll go ahead and click Next. And it says show that 3 is a real factor of 7. And it gives us kind of a little sketch pad. So what we're going to do is we're going to say that 3 times some number, x, is equal to 7. So all I'm going to do is write it on this little sketch pad. Then I need to divide both sides by 3. So I'm going to take 3x and I'm going to divide it by 3. Is equal to 7 divided by 3. And I end up with x is equal to 7 over 3. And that's all I'll be doing. You'll do it again to show that 7 is a factor of 3. You'll do it for each of these, and then you'll click Next. You'll do it for a few more. This time we're including pi and e and square root of e. It doesn't matter. All we're doing is undoing it and getting x by itself. And we'll do that for each of them until we get to the end. Once we get to the end, we'll go back to our Google form and click Next. This will take you to your Before You Go. Go ahead and fill out your Before You Go and then submit your work on Google Classroom.